Hello and welcome to Thaiger Bites. I'm Jay, this is Tim, and we're back to do another show where we get to respond to your feedback, comments from our shows on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as the Thaiger Talk forum on the website.
So you think you can just come onto our forums and just say anything you like?
Yeah, just type away.
We're going to fire back.
Let's do this.
Dale McKinney says, can you imagine the long queue at the airport with people waiting to get a COVID test?
Yes.
You could be at the airport for hours waiting to get into the country, also a long queue to get a COVID test so you can leave the country. Okay, so following November the 1st, when people will be able to get a PCR test at the airport, they would have already had one before they left their country of destination. There will be people just ready with their cameras to take pictures of the long queues and whinge about it on their Instagram. I'm tipping that the government are going to be very, very well set up and that the PCR test should be very quick. That's my tip, and tell me if I'm going to be wrong. I don't know.
All right.
But I think they're going to be well organised.
I think so too. Right. I've got my first comment here from Ben, who says, still no coffee in those cups? You guys deserve a cup in the morning. Well, Ben,
we have had coffee in the cups.
We have had lovely organic coffee this morning.
Finished mine.
Cappuccino.
Made from coffee culture beans.
And you can visit coffeeculture.asia for your roast of Thai blended coffee.
Doug M says the Thai government seems to be doing everything in its power to confuse and discourage potential tourists from visiting the kingdom. Potential tourists like me want certainty before booking a trip. Mixed messages and rumours do nothing to instill confidence. Well, look, as the government go through this phase of changing things, there are going to be people who sort of fall between what was happening and what's going to be happening in the future. So as there are changes, as they reduce restrictions, which is what you want, there are going to be some confusions, but they are heading in the right direction, so let's celebrate that. And as things happen, there will be a little bit of confusion. Let's hope that the people at immigration and the medical teams who are there to meet you are all ready to make things as easy as possible. Good luck, Doug.
Right. In this week especially, we've had a lot of conversations on motorbike street racing of kids.
Yes.
And you actually asked the question that once, I think around 320,000 motorbikes had been confiscated. So where do these bikes go? I've got a comment here from Alex who says, if there's a police chief called Joe PCX, you know where all the confiscated motorbikes went. Okay. That was a clever dig. Alex, I see what you did there. Another comment here from NYC Iron 13 who says, they should auction the bikes off and use the money to feed the poor. They have them in New York City, police auctions. Okay, so yes, that is a great thought.
They used to do is they used to bulldoze them. They used to just pile them up and just destroy them, and
then sell the metal.
Which is really to discourage the young people watching their bikes being destroyed was a deterrent, but it was also a waste of perfectly good bikes. So yeah, interesting to see what they do. 320,000 bikes though in the last year.
And my last comment is from Brian, who actually gives us some clarification on the bikes. He says, bikes confiscated by the Thai police are held for a short time before being auctioned in quantity at the Thai police auctions. It is also interesting to note that these auctions are not generally advertised, and most bikes are bought by the friends of police. The next time you will spot said bikes is after a quick spray job, making them look new and turning up for sale in local second-hand bike shops. Now you know why police have connections with said shops.
Allegedly.
Right. Yeah, we would like to say that this is Brian's opinion. We have not fact-checked this comment. However, thank you for the comment, Brian.
Merck X Belgian says, let me get this straight. Replace the ridiculous certificate of entry with what will probably be another poorly thought out plan that will keep tourists away. Brilliant? Not. Well, they have replaced the certificate of entry with what they're now calling the Thailand Pass. It does seem to be a little bit of a certificate of entry replacement, but it's all going to be digital on an app or on your computer. You'll be able to upload the required documentation. I don't think they're going to require to know where you're staying on each night during your entire stay. and they're also going to be using the old TM8, the arrival card. You'll be able to fill that out before you arrive. So I think they're moving in the right direction. So let's see what happens precisely before we start criticising it.
Right. I've got a comment here from Warren who says, Jay, Jean-Luc Picard is not pronounced with a French accent. Thank you. I'm guessing Warren is a Star Trek fan, and yesterday I called Captain Jean-Luc Picard with a French accent because it sounds like a French name, but apparently he's not French. Do you know where he's from?
Well, he's a fictitious character.
Well, true, but Jean-Luc Picard makes more sense than Jean-Luc Picard.
Well, obviously, the name has got a French origin.
Yeah.
Whether the actual character originated in France, I don't know. I'm not that up with the Star Trek universe, but can we sort of move on?
Let's move on.
Yeah. Linus G, or Jai, says, if the certificate of entry is lifted, will the 3 PCR tests during the stay also go away? The answer is yes. They'll only be requiring a PCR test before you get on the plane and when you arrive at the airport in Thailand, as of the current proposal.
Right, one more from you.
John Whitebread says, why no direct flights from the USA to Bangkok? Got an answer for that one? I have.
No, I do not.
Well, the distance from the US, even from the West Coast to Bangkok, is a bit far for most planes.
Yes.
So you need one of these new long-range planes. I think Airbus have got a A350 version of the long-range planes.
777s can.
And 777s for Boeing also have a long-range version, and you need those sorts of planes to be able to do those really long flights. Now, I understand Qantas, the Australian airline, has got a flight from Perth to London now, which is I think 19 hours on the plane. It's a long time to be sitting in an economy seat, but that's a modified Airbus A350. So there are some aircraft that will do this, but don't expect any time soon. Thai Airways were using their A340s for these long-haul flights, but at the moment there's no direct flights from the USA to Bangkok as far as we know, and nothing planned in the immediate future. And there are probably aviation buffs out there saying, oh no Tim, you got it all wrong, so I'm sure you'll update me.
Right. I have a comment here from Morpheus who says, hi guys, sorry about the broken picture frame. Silly for me for not providing enough packaging and underestimating the rough treatment of the postal service. GMT is looking better every day, not to mention the Thaiger in general seems to be moving forward to provide a professional English news service for Thailand. Thumbs up to the Thaiger team. Morpheus, good sir, you have... right. Sorry.
That was it?
Yes, this is what Morpheus actually sent us in. A nice gift, Thaiger in the tank. And yes, Morpheus, good sir, you don't have to apologize for anything, especially for the postal service.
My camera.
Getting your frame broken. But thank you. We really appreciate the gift you've sent us. We love it. We're going to put it in a place where everyone who enters gets to see it. So thank you.
Marshall Leo says, to be honest, most of the guys I know that went to Thailand each year in both the US and UK are never going to get the vaccine. There are entire regions of the US that have shunned the vaccine. Now, we know that in some places in the US it's become a political statement to decide whether you get the vaccine or not. That's entirely up to you if you want to make a political decision based on your politics and not science. And Marshall Leo, all I can say is those sorts of people who make that sort of decision, not based on science but on politics, are welcome to stay away from Thailand.
Right. One more from you.
Dr. Octagon 1 says, so hold on. Is the COE, the Certificate of Entry, now useless if you arrive on the 2nd of November? This is a really good point, and I think I mentioned it a bit earlier, that there's going to be a little bit of confusion.
Yes.
So people who arrive post Certificate of Entry time, who went to all the trouble to get the Certificate of Entry, a month ago, are going to arrive. I've got my Certificate of Entry. I think obviously there's going to be a certain amount of laxity, people allowing people to arrive. Look, yeah, but don't ask a question before you get here. You might have a few, I've got this, I need this, here's my passport. So I'm sure it'll all be okay.
Yeah. Right. My last comment for today is from 2K, who says, Tim, yes, you do look like Colonel Clink from Hogans Heroes. Just need an eye monocle. How about you do that one time and give us a laugh? 5555. Jay doesn't even know who that is, lol. He has been in a bubble all his life, I think. All my life, 2K. I'm not quite sure how old you think I am, but this show I searched was started in 1965. So unless you think I'm 60 years old, I do not know what Colonel Clink is. And since I don't know the show from 60 years ago, I guess I've been living in a bubble.
60 years ago?
Almost.
God, it was almost
1965. We're in 2020.
Okay. Well, I did watch the show a few times. I wasn't a fan, but I am aware of the show. I was always, even at that time, a little bit surprised that somebody marched into the producer's office in America and said, I've got this great idea for a comedy. It'll be so funny. We'll make it about German guards in a concentration camp in Germany.
That's a winner. That's
that'll
a green
be
light.
hilarious.
That's a green light.
So, I was never a great fan of the show, and now looking back at it, it seems completely wrong.
Yeah. Well, 2K, thank you for the comment. Maybe I will burst out of my bubble and check it out.
Harry Clark says Russia has had their worst COVID numbers today. How are they on any list? It's laughable. The TAT included Russia on their wish list of countries they hoped that were able to be able to come back to Thailand quarantine free. Now that hasn't been confirmed at the moment. But the other problem that Russia has is that the Russian government are not allowing chartered aircraft to fly to Thailand at the moment. So the only way that you can get from Russia into Thailand at the moment is with Aeroflot flying via somewhere, or getting one of the Middle Eastern airlines and flying via Bahrain or one of those Middle Eastern hubs.
Okay.
So we're not going to be seeing a lot of Russian tourists anytime soon. And I've got two more on the same vein. Jeff01CA says, Thailand should add Canada to the list. Our numbers are low compared to the countries currently being proposed. I don't know why Canada isn't on the list. You'll have to go and have a talk to the Public Health Minister, Anaton, who will ultimately get to make those decisions.
And he'll give you the best answers.
And Daniel Monroe says, sounds like Thailand may actually reopen soon. I wish them all the success. With good luck, holidaymakers may be able to drink on New Year's Day. Isn't that a really good target? That you'll be able to enjoy a drink on New Year's Eve at the
it would be symbolic
the
as well.
Lisa and Andrea Bocelli concert,
right, yeah.
And then have a drink on New Year's Day
drink
as well.
away 2021 and 2020. Drink COVID away.
So Daniel, I think we're all on the same page there. We hope that will be able to happen.
Right, and those are all the comments for today. Thank you to Coffee Culture for providing us with our favorite roast of Thai coffee.
Turned into a cappuccino by our magic machine.
That's right. Visit coffeeculture.asia and type in the code Thaiger for 10% discount. That's coffeeculture.asia. And so, thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
It's Friday, so thank you, Jason. Thank you, Shai. And thank you to the viewers for joining us all this week. It has been a crazy, hectic week. We've been setting up. We finally got the background. We've got the lights. Now we've got the cameras. We have to set up the sound.
We need the desk.
Yes, the desk will be arriving in a couple of days. The sound will improve because we just got the equipment. We're setting it up today. So on Monday, hopefully, we'll have it all set up. Thank you for bearing with us. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for supporting us all this time. Have a great Friday. Have an even better weekend. We'll see you on Monday.